Hello, I'm Catherine Cosgrove, the Clinical Director of Sobriety Home Foundation, a drug and alcohol treatment center. We've teamed up with researchers from McGill University in Montreal for a novel approach to treating addiction. This is how it works.
A new theory of addiction says that addiction is often driven by powerful, craving memories that are often impossible to defy. Now, while these memories may seem like a mountain of emotions telling us to use, it may be that there is one or two central memories driving the whole thing. What if you could get rid of that memory, or at least turn it down? That's at the heart of a new approach, starting here at Sobriety, that came out of a treatment for post-traumatic stress disorder, or PTSD. Scientists have found that they can isolate and turn down even terrible PTSD memories. The memories don't go away, they just lose their power. What if you could do the same thing with the craving memories that drive addiction? Dr. Alain Brunet of Montreal is one of the world's leading trauma researchers who's now working with Sobriety to test his treatment here with addiction.
One reason why we think that people suffer from addiction is because of cravings. And a craving is a form of emotional memory. It's a fond memory in a sense, but it's a memory that's very strong, and once things around you remind you about your craving or your drug use, it triggers that craving, and you very much want to use the drug. So what we found a few years ago is that emotional memories, be they positive or negative, can be toned down or dampened, if you like. So the initial work was done in the field of traumatic stress. For years we've been dampening the memory, the traumatic memory of victims of rape, victims of car accident, victim of violence, victim of childhood abuse, and we've successfully dampened such memories. And this is probably the strongest memory that you can form in your life, because it's really, trauma is really a confrontation with death, with your own death, and it's such a powerful memory that it's probably the most powerful of all.
I would really get sick. The sweating, the shaking, the feeling like I just wanted to hide in a closet somewhere in the dark so nobody could even know that I existed.
What is required for the treatment to work is that the memory needs to be brought back.
Researchers have found that each time any mental event is brought to conscious awareness, there's a moment of heightened plasticity in its circuit. This provides an opportunity to alter that circuit and its connections, and in the case of trauma, file those mental events in their proper place in the past.
So in the treatment that we have developed, we have people think of their traumatic event under the influence of a medication. Propranolol dampens this emotional memory.
In this treatment, the patient is given a low dose of propranolol, an old drug typically used to relieve hypertension. Then, they write out a narrative account of the trauma in explicit detail.
And then they read the account of their trauma, and that lasts less than 10 minutes.
C'est le 3 septembre, 9h20, il fait beau, et je viens de commencer mon travail au magasin.
Then they come back the following week, take the drug and read their written account of their trauma, and they do this once a week for 5 more weeks.
When I first tried this, I did not think it would work, because it's deceptively simple. We find that about 3/4 of the people no longer meet the criteria for PTSD after this treatment. It really changes their lives.
Going from the field of trauma to the field of addiction, we figured that if we had succeeded at dampening a very strong negative emotional memory, we could also probably dampen the strength of a fond memory, of a positive memory, which is associated with substance use and abuse.
Prepare the line.
The method for treating addiction is similar. Here, an addict reads what specialists have identified as his central craving memory, believed to be driving his addiction. He is on his third treatment.
My body was tingling and my breaths and heartbeat slowed down. I felt a sense of euphoria.
How was that?
It was like reading a text.
Yeah. You felt detached?
Yeah, it felt unreal.
So the first time you had clammy hands, did you feel sweaty?
I was sweating, like I had big patches, I was shaking a bit, and I was hot all over. It was a lot similar to the moment I was reading. Second time, my perspective on the text changed. It was no longer centered on the drugs, but more the guilt of what I had done to get my drugs. I remember it, I remember I did it, but I can't remember it like go back to that moment. It seems like that moment has been put aside into the past and just stays in the past. I can't bring it back to now. I've not had a craving in like at least 3 weeks, 2 weeks. Ever since I started this, it's been going down.
Because this is currently at the research level, some of the people in the program are receiving a placebo, not the actual treatment. However, in the event that this is the case, the person will then be afterwards offered a full treatment. This treatment is now available at Sobriety. It is part of a university-based research project which will test this treatment to see if it really will make a difference for the very difficult challenges of addiction.
Thank you for taking the time to look at this video. If you feel that you would benefit from this program, don't hesitate to contact us. You would not only be helping yourself, but countless others who've been stuck in the cycle of addiction. Thank you.